Hi, Madhusudan. Thank you so much for taking out time for this interview. May we request you to please share your journey, your story in your own words?
Hi, Dikshita. Hi. My name is Madhusudan. I have born and brought up in Bangalore. Then I did my bachelor's degree in engineering, post which I worked at Bosch for around 7 years, initially as a project manager and then as a key account manager.
Okay.
Post that, I wanted to just change the tracks in my career. So that's when the idea of MBA came to me.
All right.
And yeah, so I took up the MBA here in Germany, and then from there I moved into a different industry. So now I'm currently working in the startup ecosystem here in Germany,
Oh,
and currently trying to move into a technology space within the startup. So
okay.
yeah, that's what I've been doing.
That's really interesting. And it's amazing how, you kind of switched your field of work because you were passionate about it and you found a new interest. So that's really inspiring. So,
Yeah.
what factors or decisions you took that made all of this possible?
There, the factors are in various points in my career. One, after working for 7 years in Bosch, I wanted a change.
Okay.
Working in a similar industry for around 7 years also wanted me to just try something different.
All
And
right.
then when you work in a similar industry for such a long time,
Mhm.
you also are very limited in terms of what your skill set could potentially be.
Right.
So wanting to expand my skill set, wanting to expand my business horizon, and then also wanting to try something new is what actually pushed me to look for a change.
All right.
And then when you're looking for a change, it's not easy to switch industries without any kind of a pivot. So that's when MBA came into the picture, and I used MBA as a pivot to switch industries, functions, and also upskill myself.
Okay, that's interesting. So, in your opinion, what are a few mistakes you believe you might have committed in the process?
I think when I started, the concept of MBA as such for me was just a degree to move into to do this pivot, right? So I think
Mhm.
that was my first mistake. I That was my first mistake, and then also after that, I simply started preparing and then simply started looking at the colleges without having an understanding of what I wanted to do, and where I wanted to do my degree.
Mhm.
And this actually consumed a lot of my time and resources at the beginning of my MBA journey. So those
Mhm.
are the mistakes which I later rectified, and at least I think I found a way out of them.
All right. So, going back to your GMAT preparation phase, which area did you struggle with the most, and how did you overcome that challenge back then?
Okay. Apart from quant, I think okay, quant was my strength. So apart from quant, everything I had to struggle. The only way you can overcome any of your weaknesses in GMAT preparation is through practice.
Right.
So the old adage goes as that's right. So practice makes a man perfect. So
Mhm.
that's the only way out of this, because the more you are practicing, the more you are exposed to concepts, and the more opportunities you have to apply these concepts
Right.
and then reinforce those learnings into your inner skill set. So that's the only way I
Uh-huh.
overcame my weaknesses or
Right.
shortcomings as such. Yeah.
All right. So, what were the main resources that you used in your preparation? And what advice would you give to the future candidates regarding that?
I used Kaplan resources for my
Mhm.
GMAT preparation. Okay.
Okay.
This was something really helped me, and that was the only resource I used. So what I would suggest for aspirants is to pick up a resource and stick to that one resource. Even if they want to go deeper or broader, stick within a single resource, because every resource has a different approach towards teaching the concept and then applying those concepts.
Yeah.
So it's better to develop a very firm working methodology using a single approach rather than apply multiple approaches.
Right.
So that's what my suggestion would be.
Right. All right. That is very true.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's I mean, it's not just the resources. Sorry, I just wanted to add that even different resources also
Mhm.
teach different strategies to be it for to mind time management or be it to managing a certain question, etc. Right. So that's why it's always better to follow one strategy, especially for something as critical as GMAT, rather
Mhm.
than try to do everything and then not arrive at the end result.
Right, that is true. So, how was your experience of applying to B schools? And what are a few things you believe you did right in successfully achieving the admit?
I think the important aspect of an application phase is self-introspection
Mhm.
because for most of the business schools, I mean, the admissions team in these business schools, they see applications day in and day out. It's a part of their job. So they can quickly distinguish between what is a sincere application to what is an application which has a lot of which is insincere, right? So
Right.
it's better to self-introspect first and then try to understand what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses
Mhm.
and how you want to use MBA as an opportunity to overcome your weaknesses or shortcomings. I think this is the most important thing one needs to do, and the earlier they do, the
Mhm.
better it is because that's the only way you're also efficient in your application process. And this is what I think I did well as a part of my application process.
Mhm.
So that resulted in me getting admitted into a school which I wanted.
All right. So, with what area in the application process did you struggle the most, and how did you overcome that challenge?
The area was, I mean, the old adage goes right. It's not about who gives the right answer; it's about who asks the right question. So I actually struggled in that phase where I was unable to ask the right questions to myself,
Mhm.
and that is where I struggled in that phase, and that's where actually Expert Global's questionnaire. You guys have a questionnaire, right? So
Mhm.
that actually helped me because the questionnaire wasn't such. It was a very structured questionnaire. It kind of pushed me to answer the questions which matter to the application rather than answering vague questions to myself. So that was the way which I overcame my initial application failures, and yeah, I think that helped me a lot.
All right. So, what would you like to say about your learnings from managing the MBA application timelines?
Okay. My learnings were that one, we need to be realistic
Mhm.
about what is a college which one can realistically get, considering their GMAT scores and considering their interests, and also they have to be very realistic about also the finances which are associated with an MBA degree, right? Because every MBA school in the world, be it a renowned or upcoming or a new ones, they get a lot of application from Indian students. So because of which, if we are aspiring to reach a certain college,
Mhm.
we should always have a GMAT score which is well above the average of average GMAT score. So that's typically what is needed for an Indian applicant. So maybe if you use that yardstick and then try to identify the realistic colleges
Mhm.
and then identify what are the areas which you are trying to fill in your personality, in your professional career path, and then identifying which amongst these colleges will help you fulfill these gaps,
Mhm.
and then applying for those colleges.
Right.
Probably identifying 3 to 5 colleges max, and then focusing all the energies on the application process of these 5 colleges. That's when you will efficiently utilize the time, be sincere, and then also have chances of converting an application into an interview,
Right.
which gives you a lot of options to think about and then arrive at an optimum decision.
Absolutely. It is true. You explained it in a very systematic way, which is really nice. And I'm sure it's going to help a lot of students in their journey as well. So, would you like to describe your interview experience with the B schools?
Yeah, for me it was actually very friendly, purely because the B schools, the schools where I interviewed with, they tried to make it a very informal discussion.
Okay.
And then also what I know was that I also did a couple of mock interviews with experts global,
Mhm.
which also helped me, which kind of took out the anxiousness out of me and then kind of mentally prepared me for the process.
Mhm.
So that is what helped me, and my experience was also good because after the mock preparations and also my previous interview experiences, what I realized was that being yourself is the best way you can actually put across your thoughts.
Right.
So I just tried to be myself in these interviews, which helped me to really be clear on what I wanted to communicate.
All right.
And that is an experience which taught me that as long as you're sincere, people are going to give you an opportunity. So that's helped me. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's really nice that you had a very smooth experience while interviewing with B schools. So, would you like to share your MBA experience with us?
Yeah, sure. My MBA experience was very hectic. The time flew within my MBA experience. I learned a lot. I really was exposed to a different market, different ecosystem, different kind of thought process. It also enabled me to expand my horizon of how does a business management look like? How does cross-cultural work structure look like? So it's an experience which I enjoyed and also helped me really look at both myself and concepts in from a completely different perspective. So it was a good experience for me. Yeah.
That's awesome. It seems like it was quite a wholesome experience.
Yeah.
All right. So, would you like to share your job search experience during the MBA and what tips would you give to the future candidates
Mhm.
regarding that?
Okay. For my job search, I applied the same approach to what I did for my MBA.
Mhm.
I identified where I wanted to go and what I wanted to do within this space. And then during my MBA, I started preparing myself on the skill set which I lacked for the industry and the role, and then try to slowly build myself in these categories. And once I did that, I listed out few companies which would take someone without an experience in the technology or in the industry and the market, and then found the easiest way to get into these industries, which was through an internship. Once I identified them, I made applications, and then I was able to convert my applications into internships.
Okay, that's interesting. And it's nice how you actually took your learnings from the pre application phase and executed them even while your job search experience. So, can you tell us about your journey post MBA? Like, how did this
Mhm.
entire pre application phase and your MBA experience contribute to your growth post MBA?
Yeah. So the entire MBA preparation and MBA taught me to be structured, be analytical, and also how to be strategic in what you want to do. So irrespective of which college one ends up in, which role one ends up in, I think the crux of this entire MBA experience is to develop a very organized, develop an out of the box thinking. So this is what helped me.
All right. So, what are a few common mistakes that you would advise all the GMAT aspirants and MBA applicants to avoid?
Common mistakes is to go into an MBA thinking about a role you want to get into, in the sense the career choice which you want to make post MBA should be done during your MBA process, not before the MBA process, because MBA exposes you to a lot of interesting things, which kind of you need to be open to accept these changes, adapt your thinking to these changes, and then use these new concepts to also probe a bit further within yourself to see what interests you. So this is what I would suggest any aspirant to do. Don't go chasing after a salary or don't go chasing after a role, because it's good if you reach what you want, but believe me, after you get into these roles, if you're not going to be happy, no salary is going to help you or no role is going to help you. So one should utilize MBA to find something which they are going to be passionate about, something which they are going to enjoy, and something which makes them wake up every day and put all their energy and efforts. So as long as people don't, the only thing I would ask aspirants is to don't be rigid in your thought process.
Mhm.
Be fluid. Try to absorb as much as possible as a part of this process, and then try to use this to become a different person if need be, or at least develop a different approach to things.
All right.
Yeah, this is what I would suggest. Yeah.
Okay, this is amazing. Your suggestions, I think they are super inspiring and they'll help a lot of students in their journey to success. So, is there any final message that you would like to share with all the viewers watching this video?
Yeah, be honest to yourself, and then be fluid, and then try different career choices, because this is the only opportunity you get to try. It's better to probably do a couple of internships to test out different roles or different industries before you nail down and say, okay, fine, this is where I want to grow. So the more you, and be as hands-on as possible as part of this MBA process. That's for sure you will come away with a lot of learnings which will stick throughout your life.
All right.
This is what I would suggest.
Thank you so much, Madhusudan, for sharing your suggestions with us. And thank you for giving us your time and sharing your entire experience and journey because it has been truly inspiring to listen to it. So, thank you so much.
Pleasure is mine, Dishita. Then wishing all the aspirants all the luck.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
then.
Take care.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, you too, Dishita. Thank you.
yeah. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.